You are entering a very important cycle, my gorgeous Aquarius, and now most certainly there is no way back. June will be very significant for you indeed because of two reasons. Reason number one is the new cycle is about to open. The new portal is about to open. But at the same time, every single time when we have a new portal open, you know, we just have to work around the things in our lives in order to speed up on those parts of our lives that are not making sense anymore, and those parts of our lives that are now suddenly obvious that are actually making us unhappy rather than happy. Most certainly, there are particular things that are slowly coming to an end this June, my gorgeous Aquamarinis, but this is a very important stage indeed. The bottom line is you are going to have a very important opportunity. You are going to have a very important chance to fix the certain issues about yourself, to work on the certain problems around yourselves that are very important to pay attention to. Because if you miss the opportunity that you're actually going to have right now, I'm not saying that this is not going to happen at some moment in time later on, but I'm just saying that this is an important cycle. The second cycle with a similar energy, it's only going to bounce back, and it's only going to happen yet again in February 2022. You see? So it would be just a little bit of wait. And what this new cycle is going to do, it's not only going to really kind of make you to think about things that are weighing you down in a negative way, of course, but it's at the same time going to provide with opportunities that are going to last for a really short amount of time. But what you're going to notice in these opportunities, around these opportunities, my gorgeous Aquarius, that you are having the necessary strength, and this necessary strength and confidence is going to be all about a certain realization as we are talking right now, as we are speaking right now, way before June. You know, there are things that are clouding your mind, and there are things that have been draining your energy purely because you have found yourself in an area of your life that you don't necessarily recognize yourself. So this is why this is going to be an absolutely remarkable opportunity to fix and pay attention to those things that are really sticking out in your life, but in particular when it comes to yourself. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Aquarius, and it's for June 2021. So this monthly horoscope tarot card focus, it's for you, my gorgeous Aquamarini, and it's for June 2021, and your number is 110. 110 is it's a very important number with everything that I've mentioned so far, and it's quite highlighted and very enlightening number, in particular when it comes to the actual new portal opening. Number 110 is showing the fact, and it's confirming the fact that you are going to have the new portal, new cycle open, which is in June. It's going to start right from the beginning of June 2021. So you can expect really bizarre and strange energy, but at the same time you can expect 5 minutes you're going to feel really excited, 5 minutes you're going to feel really low, 5 minutes you're going to feel really tired, 5 minutes you're going to feel like a re-energized. All these energies are going to be around that particular balance, which is going to be rather confusing, but then at the same time it's about the start, it's about the beginning, where this is beginning now, this is starting now in June. And karmically, if you get things right, if you realize which parts of your life you need to literally cut out, what do you need to avoid, for example, what do you need to avoid, which parts of your life you need to cut out, what is this kind of mistake that you have made about within the last 2 or 3 years, and you still need to work karmically on this mistake. This is very important. I'm just trying to kind of open your eyes, and I'm trying to kind of help you out to see which parts of your life really you should be kind of paying attention to. On another hand, it's just the beginning. When I say that the portal is about to open, the new cycle is about to start, it's very important indeed. But it's not only, oh yeah, just June, you know, la la la. No, baby, no. I'm talking about the beginning. And if you do direct your energy towards the part of your life that is really bringing you down because something came to an end, and this is what all this is boiling down to. Something is come. On one hand, something came to an end, and you need to see what this is. And on another hand, there is a certain kind of, like, if I can call it a mistake over the last three years that you have done, maybe that you have made. You know, there is a certain life experience that you might have over the last 3 years, and that kind of clouded your mind a little bit and just threw you out of balance. And then you have lost yourself in this process, my gorgeous aquamarine. This is important because you have lost yourself in the process and in the period over the last 3 years. I'm not saying, oh my God, you're just crazy, you're this, you're that. No, baby, no. But I'm saying that balance, that essence within, you're not recognizing it anymore, and you need to get it back. And this normally happens when you find yourself at around a certain person, or you find yourself in a certain situation. So it doesn't have to be person necessarily, but it can be even the situation that no longer serve you, and then maybe you're lying to yourself, you're not honest with yourself, and you need to give you that chance. It's very important because, as I said, it's just going to be for your own benefit, like there is no tomorrow. Nobody's ever going to help you in this world how you're going to help to yourself. But you must not ignore like a kind of things that are kind of persistently keep on coming back into your mind, because these things can kind of become like quite damaging, like later on, you know, if you leave it for too long, because you can lose yourself in this sea of darkness, you know. And now it's time to come back on top, and June is going to bring you that time. So you need to see whether this is to do with a person, with a group of people, or it's to do simply with a certain place that you are constantly kind of going to, but it's just really bad for you. It's not really good. So this is all part of this cycle. This is all part of this process that you're actually going to find yourself at. It's very important indeed. And also, you know, it is just 110 when it comes to the actual numerology, and when it comes to the actual this month of June. You know, you are going to start this process of this cycle, this new portal. And what I was going to say before, sorry, it just came to me, and it's really important. It's not only about the actual June, but it's about you starting that process. And the first few things are going to be quite difficult and quite hard when it comes to like identifying the certain changes. You see, it's about identifying these changes, but it's also about being honest with yourself. Like, it's time to change, time to move on. Whether this is a person, whether this is the situation, you need to, because you are just going to kind of start losing yourself. You already start losing yourself, as I said, and you know, that is just kind of like making such an impact on you when you're not maybe kind of even realizing like in what negative waters you have, which negative waters you have actually found yourself. So this is important. So it starts in June. I know I'm on about it, but it's important. It starts in June, and just as the year, and it's going to be very important and super relevant as the time goes by. It starts in June, and it's going to very much so go on pretty sharply right until the end of December 2021, which means that each month as it goes by, it's going to be much easier than it would be normally be. Like it's just like because you're benefiting from this rather sharp energy, and you are going to find yourself in the middle of this cycle, and that in return is just going to help you to kind of like spread your wings really nicely, and that in return is going to give you the full visual. And once you have a full visual around your life, about your life, there's so many different things that you're going to see that you kind of like really that are sticking out, you know, that you should be paying attention to. On another hand, 110, you know, it's pretty much so 110, you know, when I give you my numerology, it really depends on the actual months that we are talking about. So this 110 is like pretty much so the reflection of the month of June. So, you know, for those of you who are maybe new on my channel and things like that, so I just take this into corporation and just basically use with everything else that is going on like in the month of June. So it's pretty much so to do with an important enlightenment This is what it is, enlightenment, and this is what's going to give you power, this is what's going to give you energy without you even realizing, you see. So because you're going to be thinking about yourself, which is exactly what you need to do, because if you don't help to yourself, you're not going to be able to help to anybody else, you know. So this is why this is so important. You need to be number one, but number one you need to be throughout the month of June. You really need to pick yourself up as much as you can, and that in itself, it's also going to start the process of rejuvenation, which means the more you take care of yourself, the better it's going to be. The more little, I'm not saying, oh, be selfish. No, baby, no. But I'm just saying that it's just so important to, first of all, take care of ourselves. And if we don't, then we're not going to be able to kind of look at the life in the way that we should look at life, because the energy is draining, because the things simply are not right. So now this is going to bring you the actual enlightenment and inspiration. This is very, very important time of epiphany indeed, but also a knowledge, very important knowledge. You're going to learn something so specific, and this is just going to set you free on one hand, but then on another hand, it's just going to inspire you even more, and it's going to re-energize you, you know, like it's going to re-energize you, like a physically and mentally and spiritually. Absolutely wonderful indeed. On another hand, you can also expect, my gorgeous aquamarine, you know, very important, you're going to become aware of the very important opportunity indeed that is soon going to arise. It is not going to happen in June, but you're going to become aware of it now in June, and most certainly this opportunity is going to be shining rather brightly at around the August and September 2021. But it's really important, this step of the actual knowledge that is going to connect you with things that you wouldn't normally be connected to because through the power of your subconscious mind we can do quite a lot. And especially when it comes to you, my gorgeous aquamarine, because you're born an empath. We are all like born empaths. We are all empaths. We are all born psychics. But you are just natural. You're so natural when it comes to being empaths. You know, sometimes you don't even understand how strong and powerful you are. You know, by just feeling things before everybody else is able to feel them. So this is a very great quality in itself. But once you kind of start finding this beneficial, this connection through your subconscious mind, then it just kind of becomes like a really powerful fiery driving force, you know, that keeps you going without even realizing. So you keep on going full of energy towards your own kind of path, towards your own point, you know, towards your own journey, you know. But then again, normally you maybe wouldn't have enough energy, you know, to do it. So this is the type of balance that I'm actually talking about. So you are going to become aware of an important opportunity indeed, and this is also going to be quite life-changing, because it's going to happen at the right moment and the right time, and it's going to bring you the optimism and the energy when you need it the most, okay? Because this is the also, you know, going to inspire you, going to be the part of the really big inspiration, but then at the same time, you know, it's just basically you're going to find something quite challenging, you know, and the challenging situation is going to kind of be around. Something is going to take an additional couple of months, you know, the challenging situation, but then it's going to work really brilliant for you, because on another hand, you are going to go through, you are going to make it, and you are going to be very successful. You know, you're going to succeed like with which any part of your life you try to put the actual attention towards, especially in June. Just use this balance to the best of your ability. Try to keep your head up and think in an optimistic way indeed, because it's about the great determination, initiative. This is going to give you strength to deal with certain things, like emotionally, because, you know, there are certain things that you're going to kind of pay attention there as well indeed. But then again, it's about the return of power that you are going to feel, and that is very important, because, you know, it's just going to help you to emotionally connect, you know, like on a very deep level. And I really like it, because you're just going to find yourself, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, yeah, I'm going to do that, you know. And you just need to watch this. You need to pay attention to this energy when you feel this varvumish feeling, like, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. You just suddenly, there is going to be lots of like bursts of energy that you are going to have, you know, and this is important because, you know, I really like it because at the same time it's going to happen at around the time when you realize, you know, that you are overcoming very, very important problem, you know, very annoying problem that was bringing you down and pretty much so created many challenging situations and points, you know, throughout your life, in particular when it comes to the last 9 months. This is important because at the same time you are going to manage to find yourself on an advanced stage when it comes to your personal victory. You just need to remember, when I say that you're going to have a personal victory, you will have an important information, and this is going to mean to you so much, because that information that you're going to have is going to come out of the blue. It's going to surprise you. It's about the part of your life that you're not thinking about anymore, and it's part of your life that you're not kind of focusing on anymore. So this is going to be an additional nice little surprise that you're going to have, but it's almost immediately going to put a massive smile on your face. And what will you want to do almost immediately? You are going to be very indecisive. Oh my God, what should I do? What should I do? I need to do something. Yes, of course, my darling, you do. And what you need to do is just to have a negotiation, because negotiation is going to be followed. But before that negotiation, you're going to be doubting yourself. Should I do this or not? Most certainly, my gorgeous aquamarine, is yes. And this is a double whammy. And I say double whammy because also if you do want to start the process of negotiation, this is fantastic, and it's rather mind-blowing, because the month of June, it's gonna make you so much more successful than you would normally actually be, because you will be finding this energy quite beneficial. So it's not only going to reflect on your physical energy, but it's going to reflect on your mind, on your way of thinking, on your optimism, on your planning, and that is just going to extend your energy, your physical energy. But then when you are just kind of like trying to do so much as well, you're going to find yourself achieving so much more indeed. So if you do need to have a negotiation, this is the month which is going to be absolutely brilliant to actually have a negotiation indeed. And if you do see the number 333 or 111, okay, or 222 repeating, any combinations of these numbers repeating, like if you see it on your time, if you see it on TV, wherever you see it, the way you connected, you would just know, you need to know that this is a perfect time also to kind of have the negotiation as well, or try to kind of discuss the certain problem, or try to discuss the certain issue. Every single time when you see this combination of numbers repeating, just pay attention to your mind, because you know the spirits are going to be pointing down to one particular problem that you need to not only discuss but come to an end with, you see, through the actual power of negotiation, which means that it's going to connect maybe other people as well. That means that on another hand, you know, the more you communicate throughout this month, the more you're going to actually get out of it. You know, the more you communicate, the more you're going to find out about a lot of situations about yourself, but also you're going to find out other things that are going to come out of you through this communication. On another hand, you know, it is going to be quite a messy situation with somebody else, because the certain person in your life that is very important is just going to start creating the certain problems to you in such a way where something is just not going to make sense anymore. And it's not going to surprise you, because I mean, you were like kind of trying, but things just basically simply didn't work out. I don't think that this person is positive. This person is quite negative, and I don't like this person whatsoever. I did mention somebody before in your lives, my gorgeous aquamarines, that you maybe just need to pay attention to and move away from. And as I said, you know, maybe if it's not the person, then it's just like kind of like a strongly pointing towards the fact that you need to kind of move on with your life towards the new direction or a different direction, by kind of avoiding certain person or certain group of people, because this could be connected to your work, for example, or someone where you go on daily basis. So this is something to pay attention to. But most certainly it's like about somebody is just going to kind of like show their face, and this is something that you're not going to like it. It's going to be pretty much so like a little bit of a snake in the grassy, and I just think that you are going to have absolutely enough. You're going to explode in the way where you just literally will have absolutely enough, and that feeling and that energy of you having and being having absolutely enough, it's going to be also like your main driving factor, because it's at the same time going to give you control over a situation motivation, and that is going to in turn into courage and self-esteem that you wouldn't normally have, and that is just going to make you even more wise. So somebody is not really good around your life. I know I have seen this before, I know I've mentioned this before, but now in particular when we are talking about the month of June, ooh la la, it's important. It's about the progress, it's about an amazing outcome, but at the same time it's about the beginning of the actual unfoldment, which is just going to start in June, and it's slowly going to be working its way up right until the end of December. But it's important what takes place and what happens in the actual June. So somebody's just gonna kind of like contradict themselves, and then again, you know, you're not gonna really like it, because you know because it's gonna be contradiction, but it's more about the confirmation that you should move away from that person. But then this is gonna work quite beneficial for you, because it's going to open your eyes, and it's almost immediately going to put you on the new direction. You're going to have a new sense of direction that you wouldn't normally have. And it's just almost immediately got kind of, you see, it sounds like a little bit of dark lala, of course, again, sorry, but then, do you know what I mean? If that didn't happen, who is this person who's just sticking out here like, my lord, like there is no tomorrow? You really need to kind of like see what this is, because it's not only just a bad influence, but it's just somebody really negative, somebody who brings the worst out in you. Okay, and you can take this in many different situations, you know, to see kind of like who this is. But it's about somebody who has got such a strong power to actually change you, but also to bring the worst out in you. Somebody who's confusing you because you don't completely understand this person. Very complex person, my lord. This person is so complex, and sometimes they can be beautiful and gorgeous and cute, blah blah blah. But then on another hand, they can be an absolute nonsense, like an absolute devil, basically. You know what I mean? Like very heavy, you know. So it is just really entirely up to you. But it's important to understand that there is going to be the new interest that is actually going to be born out of it, out of you, because you are going to have a beautiful light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to have your gorgeous lotus moment here indeed, and I rather like it, because lotus moment comes out of the darkness, out of the mad, out of the deepness, you know. It's a very symbolic, but it's very spiritual, but it's just an important part of your spiritual journey. You need to go through this negativity in order to kind of achieve the maximum enlightenment that I was talking about earlier on. So it's about the new inches that you're actually going to gain out of it, which is brilliant. So that the bottom line is that this in itself is going to be fantastic when it comes to people around you, your life, when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to your friends, but also it's going to be beneficial indeed, because it's going to help you gain emotionally things in your life that you really need right now, because that other person that I'm talking about was just draining your energy and was most certainly not beneficial when it comes to you feeling better, basically. So it's just like the matter of time now. On another hand, my gorgeous Aquamarini, when it comes to your health, you see, you're also going to have again, like, you know, the problems with the actual lower back. So you need to pay attention to your lower back, because it's going to be sensitive, but you also need to pay attention to your shoulders. So any kind of exercise that you can do, any kind of exercise that you can kind of like start or kind of connect to would be fantastic. In particular, kind of any kind of swimming, if you can possibly swim, would be brilliant to release the negative energy, but it's so beneficial for your body in general. And I know that the connection in between water and you, it's going to be absolutely remarkably powerful through the month of June. So it's going to help with rejuvenation like there is no tomorrow. So also make sure that you're sitting in correct way, make sure that you're lying in correct way, lying down, like for example on a side. It's quite good when it comes to the painful lower back, and with a good quality pillow, good mattress. And also, I said before, and I'm gonna have to say it again, like when you put your pillow in between your legs while you're sleeping, in between your knees precisely, just helps you so much, like to relax the certain part of your lower back that it normally wouldn't relax. So this is important. So like kind of sensitive back. On another hand, I have to say it, my lord, it's just to do with the digestion. You need to pay attention. It's again digestion, sensitive stomach, like very sensitive stomach. So pay attention to your diet, pay attention to any kind of addictions that you could also have. Please cut out any kind of addiction, because this is also something that you're going to be very sensitive to. So it could be a little bit of drink, it could be a little bit of smoke, it could be like like maybe too much food, too much sugar. Just pay attention to what these addictions are, because you're going to be very sensitive towards the actual addictions. Okay, and stomach, I said before, it's very important if you can get something like the actual natural vitamin B complex, like to take the first thing in the morning, and make sure that the actual folic acid is made in a folate way. So folic acid within this B complex needs to be made in a folate way, which is natural, and B12 also needs to be made in a natural way rather than the actual chemical way. So this is the natural B vitamin complex that I would highly recommend you, and this is going to be brilliant for your energy. This is going to be brilliant for your stress levels also, because you will find yourself a little bit stressed throughout the month. It's going to calm you down nicely, but also it's going to be beneficial for your energy and for your entire digestive system, because as I said, stomach is going to be a little bit sensitive. And also try to kind of like basically get a little bit of organic aloe vera juice. I mentioned that before. This is rather important as well, because it's brilliant for stomach lining and the area. You're also not the only sign now again to have the area at around like a urine, like a urinary tract situation. This is going to be quite sensitive as well. So if you can just make sure that you are using something like organic dandelion tea, which is going to help you out so much, to flush out the toxins, but at the same time, organic actual cranberry juice is fantastic. Organic cranberry juice is brilliant when it comes to the actual any kind of urinary situations, but also the actual organic camu camu powder. It's called organic camu camu powder. It's highly, ridiculously high in vitamin C, and this is going to help you quite a lot when it comes to the actual your urinary tract and things like that, because it's going to boost your immune system in general. So it's going to help you with that type of thing. I know it sounds weird, but it's just basically when I see like the certain maybe parts of our bodies that we need to pay attention to, and this is something that is going to help you quite a lot. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor or GP if you can, if this can interact with your existing medications or not, because only your GP can actually tell you this. So now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, my gorgeous Aquarius, I'm going on the first date that is going to be quite important, and this is going to be the very 3rd of June. So the 3rd of June is pretty much so like, oh my god, like very annoying situation, very difficult situation. It's gonna come up. I'm sorry, I know I'm being a bit of a dark lala, but this is important. This is important because, as I said, you're entering the new cycle. So it's not only about the arguments, problems and issues, but it's also about you doing things at the right moment, at the right time, with the absolutely perfect balance of energy, which is just gonna give you this power of communication, without kind of like a negativity or uncertainty that you would normally have. So the 3rd of June, it's going to bring you a big problem, like an obstacle, an annoying problem, and it's just to do with a certain argument, the certain problem, and that in itself is just basically connected to you. That is just going to make you think like, oh god, like again, it's like you are gonna blame yourself about something, when it comes to that particular argument here, the situation, you will blame yourself about something that you made a poor kind of choice or something like that when it comes to it. So you need to see what this is very important. But then again, it's rather transformational moment in time, because it is just almost immediately going to make you think. It is immediately going to put you on the path that you wouldn't normally be, because without you even realizing, you're going to start focusing on a new part, a new area in your life. And this is important because, at around the 3rd of June, in between the 3rd of June and the 14th of June, there is also going to be quite powerful opportunity that you're going to actually have. So this is something that you're going to be thinking about. This is something that you're going to be focusing already, about the specific part of your life. And then by the 14th, you will know it's going to be the actual and amazing opportunity that that you're gonna have, and this is gonna be brilliant because it's going to inspire you, it's going to bring you inspiration, it's going to bring you excitement and positive energy and balance and balanced force exactly when you need it. Okay, so this is going to bring you an amazing opportunity. So be bold and courageous, and most certainly optimistic, because your energy will be very, very strong and very powerful when it comes to your own projection, so you do not waste it whatsoever. So now it's time to take action. And this is what you do yourself, because this is going to reveal something very important about yourself that you're passionate about, that you should do, that you should start, that you should follow, that you should continue. This is the path that you should be on, and also the very strong sense of adjustment and readjustment when it comes to cutting someone out of your life. The second part of the second date that is going to be quite important, but before we go there, I highly recommend you something like a black obsidian. It's like a must. Absolutely perfect time for you to get a black obsidian and to wear it in June and July, but you specifically wear it when you want to gently, beautifully and nicely protect yourself and protect your energy against negative people, and especially if these people are maybe kind of like, if you are emotionally connected to them, emotionally attached to them, they've got this ability to drain our energy even more, even further, in a more specific way. On another hand, you protect yourself against like a negative people and situation throughout June and July, or whenever you need it, of course. And also it's very good and brilliant when it comes to bringing that balance, and when it comes to inspiration, when it comes to being brave, when it comes to being courageous. You know, so as long as we are kind of focusing in the right way, by focusing on our future planning, this is working miraculously. This gorgeous black obsidian comes with a sterling silver setting and a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. But buying things from my channel, my gorgeous aquamarinis, you're also supporting my channel as well. I have to say this. The second important date, it's going to be on the 14th of June. Like, oh my lordy lord, the 14th of June is like, oh my lord, you know, very important message here. It's something that you have been waiting for a long time. You know, it's going to happen like just out of the blue, a little bit unplanned, but this is going to be really good. This is going to be really beneficial, and this is going to be really important. You know, you had patience for this, and you know, you've been waiting for this. You wanted for this to happen, but it's going to happen slightly earlier, and this is brilliant because you're going to find yourself being a little bit unprepared. But then again, all you need to do is just bring things together into a perfect union by paying attention to the actual management, you know, in your life. Readjustment, adjustment is most certainly going to be needed, and also a very beautiful person in your life who means to you so much, somebody very, very special, who you know is very special indeed. It's going to tell you a strong and powerful information, which is going to bring a really powerful force within you, and it's going to be super influential in the best possible way. When they are the right people in our lives, they have got such a powerful impact and influence on us. They tell us things that we may not like sometimes, but then we hear what we need to hear, you see. And these are the type of people I'm talking about. And you know what I find really fascinating? That you are going to again have a sign, my gorgeous aquamarini, like you had so many omens, and this doesn't surprise me. You had so many signs so far, and it again doesn't surprise me because you are an empath. As I said before, you are born an empath. You can feel things, you can sense things, and that puts you just that much further, that much closer within this spiritual world. So this doesn't surprise me that you always have so many omens, because you are gonna have a very important sign, very important omen on the 14th of June. And that omen is also like kind of like you need to pay attention to. It could be a dog, it could be a cat, it could be a bird. It's gonna come in the form of an animal. I know it's gonna come in the form of an animal, and I know it's something is gonna be unusual about it. And it's just number 2 will be making sense at around that time. Number 2 will be making sense like there is no tomorrow, but you will know that this is your sign. You will know that this is your animal. Maybe you will driving a car and there's some bird will just fly off and fly through, you know, in front of you in a really strange way. Maybe you're going to see a little dog, you know, and it's going to look at you, or it's going to act in a certain way. You will know it's part of your dimension. However this communication happens, or however this energy happens, you will know that this is meant to be part of your dimension. So you are at around the 14th of June, or you can do it from the 14th of June, right, from the 14th of June until the end of that month. You know, you can actually expect this situation, you know, and then something is going to take an additional 25 days until kind of unfold itself, until you kind of realize, wow, this is going to be huge, this is going to be big, until you realize how important this part of your life is actually going to be. But when you see this animal, when you see this sign, when you see this omen, you know, you just need to understand that you need to pay attention to what was on your mind, of course, but also there is some kind of idea that this spirit world and your guardian angels want you to pay attention to a certain idea. You need to kind of focus and see what idea is on your mind, or was on your mind earlier, or was on your mind like in the morning, or maybe it's just going to happen after that moment in time. But this is going to be pointing towards a certain idea. And also very, very important that idea is going to change so much. So it's very important not to rush with this, but just to keep it on the side. And when you're keeping it on a side in your mind, in your subconscious mind, you just plant it at the back of your mind, in your subconscious mind, and then your third psychic eye, your pineal gland, you know, just takes care of it, and then it's just sending you little signals and messages throughout your own journey. So this is why this is so important. Don't rush with this whatsoever, because it's going to change a lot, and it's going to need a more refinement, you see, which you're going to get along the way. At the same time, this is going to be super important when it comes to you overcoming a very big obstacle, you know. And you will know that the certain things that you were so uncertain about are going to work out so well and so nice just because of this particular situation. Very, very brilliant indeed. From the 14th of June until the end of that month, if you can possibly just talk as much as you can, communicate as much as you can, express yourself as much as you can, my lord, do not keep things in whatsoever. Do not keep things in. It's very important for you to express yourself, you know. And also on another hand, you know, you just basically somebody who you can trust. It's also kind of going to really help you a lot, you know, in between the 14th of June until the end of that month. Somebody very important in your life, very significant, somebody who you know for a long time. It's actually going to help you a lot, because they are going to be quite important part of your spiritual journey. So they are kind of give you the certain informations that were missing. Okay, the third important date, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's actually going to be on the 27th, 28th, 29th, and the 30th of June. And I would also, rhodochrosite is like absolutely a must. It's probably one of the most powerful crystals you can actually get, because it's going to help you to boost your energy, to boost your way of thinking, to boost your spirituality. It makes you feel instantly better. So if you're emotionally not there, if you're like all around the place, if you feel low, if you feel down, if you feel depressed, if you feel sad, if you feel anxious, I mean, this baby has got the ability to actually just change you almost instantly. As soon as you kind of touch it, you can feel its energy like there is no tomorrow. So this could be your little secret weapon, you know, to have if you have to deal with things that are making you emotional, or you don't feel right. This is something that is going to help you and bring you an instant balance, you know, whenever you need that little boost throughout June and July 2021. This comes with a gorgeous sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Aquamarine, you're also supporting my channel as well. So the last 3 days are 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th of June. 27, 28, 27, 28, 29, 34. Sorry, 27, 28, 29, 30. The last 4 days are actually 27, 28, 29, 30. Sorry, how many times I'm gonna say that? I don't know. But it's just basically, this is like brilliant, because it's to do with an annoying and slow and really, really, really sad sad delay. Delay that created indecisiveness, delay that created a lack of motivation, delay that created a lack of inspiration. My Lord, this just took so much out of you, you know. And this is so important because it's about the actual resolution of a big mama problem, like huge, massive, big mama problem. This is huge. So this is about the resolution of a problem. It's to do with the conclusion that you're going to have, which is almost immediately going to bring a wonderful healing into your life and satisfactory result indeed. It's the fulfillment that you're going to feel that you didn't feel in a long time, but also it's about and around a quiet, powerful compromise. You know, it's also to do with like a friendship and people being close to you and staying close to people without kind of arguing or something like that. But at the same time, it's about the inspiration that is actually going to come out of it. You know, it's fantastic. It's pretty much so. Almost immediately, it's going to put you on the path where there are new possibilities, new relationships, new approaches to very old and annoying problems, you know, new acquaintances, new knowledge. You know, you're going to be so much wiser up and by this moment in time. I'm not saying you're not wise now, but you will see what a massive, huge, enormous role the actual month of June was playing in your life. You know, you're going to learn something so important, like about a certain part of yourself that you will want to take on the next level, you know. And this is important because your energy will be very bright, so it's quite significant time not to ignore it, because a certain part of you is going to need from you to work more on it. You need to learn a little bit more about a certain path in your life, you know, because at the same time it's just something that it's like a very strongly part of your spiritual journey, and it's going to be your call. You will see exactly what I mean, you know. These 4 days are also very important to pay attention to the actual details, because you are going to be able to read something in between the lines. This is going to surprise you, and it's going to be rather mind-blowing, but then at the same time it's going to bring you a massive, huge, enormous confirmation as well. So now, my gorgeous aquamarinis, I'm going to see what is going to happen in the first part of June, mid part of June, and the last part of June briefly. So the first part of June, make sure that you are managing your resources really wisely. This is something that I would really kind of like recommend you. And also, you know, the more you kind of give and the more you are kind of nice. I'm not saying that you're not giving, I'm not saying that you're not nice, but karmically this is going to be a powerful situation. The more you give, the more it's going to get back to you here. I'm not saying that you're not giving normal, and please don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying specifically karmically this is going to be quite energetic, you know, very strong energy. On another hand, you know, you are going to make a really smart decision, in particular when it comes to your business and finances, you know, when it comes to the first part of June. This is important because it's to do with the departure, your own spiritual journey, when it comes to the actual advancement into the unknown, stepping into the unknown that you wouldn't normally do earlier. But this energy is just going to put you on the path, and you're just going to have to like kind of deal with it. But this is going to be good. The mid part of June, it's just basically about, you know, somebody who's very supportive to you is going to be playing an important role. Somebody who's very supportive to you is just going to give you that missing puzzle, something that you didn't know, something to do with your emotions, something to do with your feelings, something to do with your past, but something that you didn't know will be pointed out to you. And this is going to be quite interesting because at the same time, this is going to kind of be playing an important part, an important role when it comes to your future planning. The third part of June, the last part of June, it's all about the actual, you know, you enjoying yourself from the abundances, from the past choices, and I really like this. But then at the same time, you know, you're just gonna need to understand to be patient, because I can see that you will want to really kind of like speed up with something or hurry up with something, but this is not a time to be really quick and to hurry up. It's more about taking one step at a time, because a lot is going to unfold in your life, a lot you're going to learn learn. A lot is going to change every single step of the way. So if you do feel pressured or something like that at the end of June, just remember to take one step at a time, you know, to be patient as you decide what is actually going to be next. You need to remember also that logic and organization will increase your success. Just remember this at the end of June, that logic and organization will increase your success. Don't think negative, think positive. When you want to achieve something, don't kind of like stay on that particular path, but just constantly focusing on it's not happening, it's not happening. Just kind of let it go and just move on, and you will see things are wonderfully going to take place. This is something I want you to understand. I'm not saying that you don't, but you know, logic and organization are going to increase your success. You know, take charge of the situation. It needs to come from you. You need to put your foot down, and also structure and discipline is going to be important, more important than ever. Okay, so now I'm just going to see what is going to be happen to those of you who are in relationship. Okay, in relationship you're gonna need to work on the problems, you know, because there are certain differences that you're gonna need to work out in between you two. There is something is not quite right, and you need to work on that problem. Oh gosh. So you see, always when I come to Aquamarine, like tarot cards are flying, like you know, dancing, screaming, smiling. No, but you just need to work on the certain problems. I think that there are some kind of like karmically you had like a little bit of argument before, and then you had a little bit of argument before, and then you had a little bit of argument before, but sadly the Chariot here as well, you see, but sadly it is just something is keep on coming back, but you're not dealing with it karmically, you see. So this is the problem. So there is like kind of the situation is going to arise here for the couples, you know, and you really need to sort this out. Something is not kind of going to be right, but it's just up to you, on both of you, to actually work on this. I mean, by the time you get to the actual last part of June, the last day of June, you will know what exactly I was talking about here. But it's just a certain problem that you're gonna need to deal with. Some kind of argument is going to arise, and this is not the first time. That's what I'm trying to say. Karmically, this is keep on coming back, and that's a little bit of a problem here, because if this is karmically keep on coming back, then that means that you're arguing a little bit, kind of like quite a lot, and it's just like kind of, it's creating the spiritual knots, you know, spiritual knot, and it's quite a lot, but you've got like 10, you know, in between you two. So you just need to work on it and see what this is. You really need to discuss this problem, because if you don't, you know, if you don't come on top of this, it's just gonna extend into something else. You've got another opportunity to work on this problem. It's more important than ever. You need to sort this out. Okay, so the certain problem that is going to arise in between the couples, my gorgeous Aquamarines, you just need to basically work on it and see what you're gonna do next. Okay, so now I'm just going to shuffle this tarot cards. Absolutely gorgeous tarot cards. But so I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards, and I'm going to see what is going to happen to those of you who are single and ready to mingle. Okay, so that's Three of Swords. You see this, like my gorgeous Aquamarine. So here we go. So now the problem is, I'm not saying the problem, but this is the time of transformation. This is the first time in a long time that you're actually going through this very special and sacred transformation. What this means is just that basically you're gonna feel like nothing to do with love, nothing to do with emotions. You're just gonna feel like you want to change things around. You want to change things within your immediate environment. I know this sounds really weird, but this is going to be the time also. This is only specifying the time. It's not saying anything about your feelings and emotions or what is going to happen, but it's specifying the specific time when you feel like you want to change things around, my gorgeous Aquamarine, when you want to change the room around, or you want to change, like suddenly you feel like you need changes. You know, this is your spirit guides are going to be talking you that it's time, that it's very soon after that somebody very special is about to enter your life. In fact, you work with this energy. I know it sounds crazy, but throughout the month of June, if you are single and ready to mingle, and of course you are. No, if you are single and ready to mingle, and you do kind of like start changing things around in your home, in your immediate environment. I know it sounds weird, but this is going to be very beneficial when it comes to your energy in general. It's going to get you going. It's going to get you thinking. Just remember remember how important this is, that the movement creates the actual energy. Whatever you're focusing on, and when you are ready to find somebody very special, this is the very energy that is already going to start echoing things towards the universe. And what is going to happen, just something is going to be back to you. Somebody is very soon going to walk into your life, my gorgeous aquamarinis, and it's not going to be that long. You know why am I saying this? Because it's the time of transformation, and in the time of transformation in general when we have, you know, we just feel like we want to do things and change things around. But that also in itself means that very soon there is somebody very special that is actually about to enter your life, and it's going to take place like at around the end of this month, the end of June. But even if it doesn't happen, even if that person doesn't show up in June, you're still going to start sharing the same path when it comes to the actual June 2020, when it comes to the June 2021. But it's not going to be that long, my gorgeous aquamarinis, you know. And look at this, the sun. You have not met this person before. This is going to be somebody very special who is about to change your life, like literally. This is the sun, and it's the card of enlightenment. It's the card of happiness. It's a card of like excitement, you know. It's a card of beauty. It's a card of love, a card of inspiration, card of happiness, emotional fulfillment. Somebody very special is about to walk into your life who is going to understand you like in a way like nobody else ever did. This is what I'm talking about, my gorgeous aquamarini, and it's not going to be even that long. Okay, my gorgeous aquamarinis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace, and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of light, healing, peace, and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous aquamarinis. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.